Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Mates TV. I am Mate. I'm sure you will have all seen it now, but it looks like Timo Werner, who has been a long reported Liverpool target, is going to join Chelsea instead this summer. Whatever, man. Look, I understand that people get really wound up about transfers. I'm going to discuss some of the ramifications of all this, of course. But like my instant reaction to this is just, and I'm gonna be in a touch blasé about it. Maybe a touch. I was very tempted for this to just be a video where I could have probably go back 10 years of covering Liverpool on an almost daily basis and doing transfer windows and transfers and football matches and everything in and around that club. I've probably made this video a dozen times at least, and I could probably go back and make a super cut of it. And it's the largely by and large. And if you want to stick around for the reasoning and rationale behind this, and some some of the negatives, some of the positives, and what Liverpool can maybe do next, then please do stick it out because it helps with the algorithm and stuff. But ultimately, look, Liverpool, just to clarify, are 25 points clear at the top of the Premier League, having won the European Cup last season, having been to the European Cup final the season before that, having been to the Europa League final 2 seasons before that. They have one of the best squads on the face of planet Earth. All of their best players are in the peak of their careers, so they're still in the prime years. Our youth talents are first rate, and a lot of our next gen middle talent between that haven't quite hit their absolute peak years yet either. So I think Liverpool's squad is in a very healthy position. We've got the best manager, if not the best manager in the world, certainly the best manager Liverpool could have in the world right now. So when I say my response is largely just wait and see, it's not very sensational. It doesn't answer people's fears. And I'm not to say that I don't have a couple of qualms and a couple of little bits of worry around it, because look, 50 million quid for Timo Werner seems to me on the surface like an absolute no-brainer of a deal. He's having a phenomenal season. He's the right age that he's just about to get better. He's got all of his best years ahead of him as well. He can play across the front three, so he can provide cover for what we've got. And, he just looks like a great fit for what Liverpool do. And all of that just added up like to, again, an absolute no-brainer of a deal. So when Liverpool don't do it, inevitably questions. There have to be questions, because just from the outside looking in, without knowing too many details, it would be amazing. There would have to be a lot of details to truly justify that action. Now, maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe there just needs to be one detail. Maybe that one detail is Liverpool don't have a lot of money. And what I'm seeing from a lot of people is going, well, Liverpool should have a lot of money. They're about to win the league, and they didn't spend big in the last year at all. I mean, look, obviously we made more money than we spent out. Yes, we bought Minamino, but it was for a relatively paltry sum of dough. So Liverpool should have money. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a financial expert. I'm terrible with my times tables, to be perfectly honest, which is a real weakness for a man of 37 years old. But moreover, I don't have access to Liverpool's financial record, so I don't know how they're set up. What I do know is they're a football club who tried to engage the furlough scheme, and everyone went, no, Liverpool, you're not allowed to use the furlough scheme because you're a big, cash-rich organisation and blah, 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 blah. And I'm not defending that, because I thought morally it was the correct decision to do. But I also, I don't know Liverpool's financial situation. If all of a sudden I can't help it, if people are looking at conspiracy theories and people are going to be judging the ownership and what have you, I would look at it and go, if a business went to the government with cap in hand, can you help us out of a tricky financial situation? And then they decide not to do that against public pressure. They didn't go, actually, we'll be fine. They went, no. We understand the moral position of this. Let's not do this. They've not gone, Sav, we just wanted to make life a bit easier and have a bit more of a party, spend some more money on pina coladas in lockdown. And now all of a sudden at the end of it, Liverpool look like they can't afford £50 million for a transfer. that strikes me that, like, yeah, hey, Liverpool may not be as healthy financially as possible. They're committed to expanding the stadium. There's got to be money put aside for the Anfield Road. They know that the stadium, the facilities at Kirby for the new training ground are getting paid for, and that's under the final stages of construction as well. Again, I can throw all these things out. It depends what your slant is always on these things, and it feels like there was a ton of lads with FSG out, tweets ready in their drafts. They came out very quickly. Those the handles, having it in your name and all that. There's one lad I saw who was tweeting Chris. And I just thought, as you always do, and someone's being a bit of a belt, and I still look at the profile and just see, normally they've got like a British flag or a bull terrier in them, but this guy didn't. But he hadn't also tweeted anything since like January, and this was enough for him to climb out of his hole. For me, I think, look, Liverpool's owners, are they super mega rich? No, they never have been. Do they have credit in the bank? Maybe not in terms of actual credit in the bank, but in terms of how much trust we should put in them. Yeah, yeah, they have. And so what you've got is the criticisms of like, well, Liverpool need to build from a position of strength. I agree with that, by the way. I do think Liverpool need to double down, and they need to make sure that they are, they're consolidating their power, because it's quite easy to slip off the top spot. We've seen it happen. It's happened to Liverpool before. We don't want it to happen again before we've really had time to revel in it and enjoy it and get the most out of it that we can. And then there's obviously questions about, if he's going to another Premier League club, where's their money coming from, and blah, blah. Let's not get into the financial state of Chelsea Football Club, because that's always been a madly run footy team anyway. But most of the criticisms and stuff, I think it just comes from anxiety and fear, and it's fear of the unknown. And right now, without more information, I think if you've got a natural slant towards the negative, your anxieties, and you might pass that off as like, but I really care about the football club. We all do, by the way. We all really care about Liverpool. Thinking that this might be all right is not like being blasé. It's based on history. FSG deserve credit because they've built, it's all well and good saying like, well, Jurgen's done all the hard work. Yeah, but you know what? They've financed putting the right people around them, and they've got a synergy with Jurgen Klopp. He understands the situation. Maybe look, he might be unhappy with it. I can't possibly speak for him, but he strikes me as a pretty laissez-faire guy from the interactions I've had with him. He understands the parameters with which he has to work, and he's delivering success within that, and he has done. I see no reason why that won't continue to be the case. So I personally, although it's annoying, and it's more annoying as ever, and again, the copy and paste from countless videos like this down the years, it's annoying that I have to turn on Twitter and see people losing their heads. People are entitled to their opinions. People are entitled to be a bit wound up, but I think also there are some people who just take it a bit too far. I mean, I look at it back now, and I look at the examples of like last summer. It looked like we should have spent money, and then we went on and put down the best, or we were on course for the best ever Premier League season a football club had ever done, having spent no money in the summer, having bought a 16-year-old child and a backup goalkeeper who'd been released by West Ham. Insane. Absolutely insane. So yeah, those things don't make logical sense sometimes. So sometimes you do have to just take a deep breath and take a step back and see how it unfolds, and trust that there's probably good reason behind it. And whether you agree with the reason or not, kind of irrelevant, because whether you agree doesn't really have an impact on it, to be perfectly honest. It's not going to change things. This isn't a man the barricade situation. This isn't a protest situation. This isn't a get out and start burning effigies of John Henry and Linda and Tom Werner on the concourse outside the main stand. It's just not. It's just a situation where Liverpool are either being a bit more cautious with the money. Hey, listen, if they're doing that, good, great. Look, Liverpool aren't a kind of club who can go out and spunk loads and loads of money without accounting for it. They're a very sensibly financially run club, and that is the price that we have to pay for creating the Liverpool that we've created today. You can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater because you want to sign in. We've got incredibly smart people working at Liverpool, probably for the first time in the Premier League era. It's the smartest set of people that Liverpool have ever had under that roof, under that umbrella, working for the football club. So I personally, I just think there's enough trust there that you have to trust them to get on with it. I don't think it's ideal. I think Jurgen Klopp will have wanted Werner I think they will have wanted to do that. But if you're telling me that it's safeguarding Liverpool for the coming years in very uncertain financial times, then yeah, and you can look at it, yeah, there's money that's got to be paid back from the TV revenues in coming years. That's got to come from somewhere. That's budgeted for already. That's got to come back out of somewhere. There's no guarantee that we can sell season tickets next season. That's a massive chunk of revenue. And say what you want about TV revenues and all the outside things being bigger revenue sources. Ticket sales is a massive source of revenue for the club, and there's no guarantee. That could be hundreds of millions gone out of Liverpool's pockets. And so I would rather Liverpool consolidate what they've got, which, let's face it, is still better than what anyone else has got in the Premier League right now. We've got a better side and better prospects of that side continuing as it is than Manchester City have. They've gone out to replace David Silva, who's finally going to retire at some point. They've still not replaced Vincent Kompany properly. They've got what? Kevin De Bruyne he's in the same age bracket of being in his prime age, but he's one guy in that. And the young players like Phil Foden, is he ready to step up for the mantle? He might be, but if they've got loads of lads like that, they just haven't. I think Liverpool are in a much stronger position. Chelsea need Werner because Chelsea have seen an opportunity to catapult themselves above Arsenal, above Tottenham, maybe even above Man United. It's a calculated risk for them. Liverpool don't need to risk the financial health of the football club and everything they've built on one transfer. And listen, they might well do. And this is the thing, by the way, within hours of the Werner stuff coming out, there's talk of Sancho already. Now, I think Liverpool will be frugal with the money this summer, if I'm being perfectly honest, until things get back on track, because that's how they've been run. They don't spend above their means. And I don't want Liverpool being put in financial jeopardy because there's a demand for more new players and more pressure. We've got some really good players. If you had to have another season at Divock Origi, there's far worse players. If you had to have another season at Shaqiri, there's far worse players. If you had to play more at Curtis Jones, or you'd have to say, no, Ryan Brewster, not a season loan, more games for you, then fine. Jurgen Klopp is the best manager to make the most out of what he's got because he's already delivered 3 European finals, 1 European Cup, a Club World Cup, a Super Cup, and he's about to deliver the Premier League as well. So you know what? Take a chill pill, have a little faith, and then all be over the moon when somehow we pull a mad transfer like Sancho out of our arse out of nowhere, but also probably not. And ultimately, who fucking cares? Because Liverpool are about to be crowned champions. Let's just enjoy that. Let the football come back. Let's enjoy the good things about Liverpool before turning into absolute whinging minge bags and ruin it for fucking everyone else. Give your fucking head a wobble. Went a bit dark. Listen, if you've got more from me, do subscribe to the channel. Mates TV, I'm here for you guys. I'll be chatting through some of the big issues every single week about Liverpool. I've also got a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Mates Gaming, doing a Liverpool career mode over there, so make sure you go and check that out as well. And a Patreon, patreon.com/Mates if you want to support the channel. Thanks very much. Have an amazing time. Have an amazing weekend. Don't lose your heads too much, like me, and you'll be fine. Nice one.